Hello friends, Benn Reid here, and it is finally time for me to rank the 10 Transformers movies. There's been 10 Transformers movies, and there's been 10 Ninja Turtles movies. And ironically, Michael Bay has been a part of both franchises. So, let's discuss. At number 10, we have the worst Transformers movie, in my opinion. It is Revenge of the Fallen. Here's my question. Why is this movie so horny?
They're genuinely amazing.
What are you allowing to happen to your foot just now?
At least he's faithful, Sam.
Yeah, well, he's faithful, and he's nude, and he's perverted.
Dominating Frankie. Get the hell off the couch, you filthy beast.
Seriously, now, sexual jokes, I don't mind. I expect them in, like, Deadpool. But when it's this much sexual innuendos in a Transformers movie, I just gotta ask, why? It doesn't help that this movie was being made during a writer's strike. Like, oh, that's a big reason why this movie didn't do well. And they kill off Optimus, which is kind of like a trend now, but you did it so early that he's not even in the movie that much. And I just don't like it. I don't like Revenge of the Fallen. It's definitely the worst out of the Michael Bay's movies. At number 9, we have Age of Extinction. Now, I took my parents to see this movie in theaters. This was a 3-hour-long movie. And by the end of the movie, or near the end, my mom turned to me and said, "Please don't take me to movies anymore." It was running a little too long for her. Because in a movie with giant robots, giant dinosaur robots, big explosions, all three of us thought it was a boring mess. Oh, God. That is the biggest insult you can say to a Transformers movie with so much lore and drama. Calling it boring, it hurts. Because you barely did anything in a 3-hour movie. The Dinobots took their precious time to get here. Now, you started off with a decent premise. The humans have betrayed the Autobots. They're hunting them down. And seeing Ratchet die, that got me in the feels, man. And watching them melt his head down, like, oh my God. And Prime had every right to lose his shit, saying, "These were not your property. These were my friends." Like, yes! But, you know, stupid humans be stupid. And why are we trying to make sense of a relationship between a grown man and a minor in a Transformers movie?
This is illegal. She's a minor.
We're protected by the Romeo and Juliet laws.
Like, these are interesting characters with interesting backstories, yet you're spending so much time trying to make sense. It's okay for a minor to date an adult. No! The answer is always no. Like, I don't want to think about that in a Transformers movie. At number 8, we have Transformers The Last Night. And I think at this point, even Michael Bay was like, screw it. Like, they gave up at this point. They clearly were running out of ideas. Because saying that the Autobots have actually been on Earth since, like, King Arthur in World War II, even though it's like they've never been to Earth in the first movie. I don't know. Timelines get messy because it's too damn hard to follow your own work. But why do I think it's better than the previous two? Well, it does deliver a interesting premise. Optimus Prime, evil. That is something that we don't really see all the time, unless you were talking about Nemesis Prime, which is a completely different character altogether. But an evil Optimus Prime, I thought that was interesting. And even though it came out during a time where all the leaders of a team was going rogue, like in Fast and Furious, and they kind of teased it with Power Rangers, but they didn't go all the way through that yet. But here we see Optimus fighting his scout, his soldier, his little brother, Bumblebee. And it was kind of hard to watch seeing these two best friends going at each other. It's like watching Civil War. Like, they're fighting, but you can tell they're pulling their punches because they don't want to hurt each other. So that was kind of interesting to watch. And the thing that made Optimus come back to his senses was Bumblebee speaking. that was kind of nice. And the horror that I'm sure we've seen that meme where Optimus kills 7 guys at once, just decapitating all in a row. That was cool. But like the other 2 movies, there's not much good things to say about it. It was just less offensive and less boring compared to the other 2. At number 7, we have Rise of the Beast, the best Transformers movie. No. No. It's definitely better than some of the previous ones, but no. We all know what the best Transformers movie, and we haven't gotten to that one yet. No, but Rise of the Beast, it was better than some of the Bayverse ones, but where it lacks is that you introduced the Maximals. Cool, I watched Beast Wars, but you only had like 2 of them with lines. You had Cheetor and Rhinox, and they barely said anything. So why are they in the movie? They didn't say a word, they hardly did anything cool, so why are they here? Like, you wasted fan favorite characters. And not to mention, you fucked up Wheeljack. I will never forgive you for that. You have a perfect design in Bumblebee, and you made him this? No, no, no. I'm a big Wheeljack fan, and what they did to him, how dare you? Yeah, and the human characters were interesting, and I was kind of concerned that Mirage wasn't going to be as good as Bumblebee, especially with Pete Davidson playing him, but it was actually kind of entertaining. And, you know, they had to do the thing where they kill off a fan favorite character just to bring them back, blah, blah, blah. We've seen this all before. Basically retracking Revenge of the Fallen right now. Did you notice that? Yeah, in the first Transformers, it's Optimus Prime. Sequel, he dies. The first remake movie, it's about Bumblebee. Sequel, he dies. So, I'm seeing a pattern here, and I don't like it. Although, the Maximals are better than the Dinobots. At number 6, we have the first live-action Transformers movie. Now, I grew up with all these movies thinking these aren't the best, but they're at least decent. But as I got older, it became more of a joke of how terrible they're getting. But now, apparently, we all love them because of nostalgia. First one, I thought it was decent. You know, after rewatching it, wasn't really into the Sam character. If you ask me, the best human characters in any Transformers media would be the Transformers Prime, Jack, Miko, Raph, Agent Fowler, Nurse Darby. Those human characters I actually enjoy. Sam, not so much. The Witwicky family, I don't really care about. Michaela, don't really care about her. So, because I come to Transformers for the Transformers. I don't know why it took everyone so long to know that, to realize that we watch Transformers for the Transformers and not the humans. But anyway, for the first live-action movie, I thought it was pretty decent. Not many complaints. But I do think the movie after this takes it up a notch, especially after Revenge of the Fallen. At number 5, we have Dark of the Moon. Now, this third installment did what not many third installments can do, actually surpassed in the original and sequel. I can name a few third movies that I like, Logan, Infinity War, but most of them you get like, you know, Spider-Man 3, The Last Stand, where the third one isn't always the best, but I'm glad Dark of the Moon definitely surpassed the first film and most definitely surpassed the second one. But I do think this is the best out of the Michael Bay movies, because even though they wasted Shockwave and gave me an even uglier Wheeljack design than Rise of the Beasts, that's why I didn't feel bad for him dying, because I did not like looking at the design. But everything else is pretty solid. Sentinel Prime, what a prick. So I was glad to see him die, but I hate him for killing Ironhide. But when you saw that for the first time, that was so shocking, which I think movies should do. They should shock you. They should catch you off guard. It makes that movie experience a little bit better because you didn't know what to expect. Yeah, I actually think this is a solid film. It's not perfect, but it is a solid top 5. At number 4, I might get some flack for this, but the very first Transformers movie, I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't really care for this one. I like the Generation 1 series, but the way they did these characters in the movie, what the fuck? Yes, I said I was praising Dark the Moon for the shock value, and this one was definitely shock value, because they're killing off Ratchet, other Autobots, Optimus Prime. They killed Optimus Prime for the first time. That was devastating for 80s kids. When you see that repeat over and over and over again, it loses its meaning, because, yeah, oh look, Optimus Prime died again. He'll be back soon. Like, but seeing it for the first time, that was devastating. The way he died, what the hell? Screw you, Hot Rod. And the reason they did this is because it's a toy line. They're killing off the old toys and introducing the new ones. Okay, but did you really have to kill them off? Couldn't you just, have them go somewhere else, continue the mission, or retire, do something, than just killing them? I know these are characters of war, but did you have to kill all my favorite characters at once? Man. And apparently this movie was even pointless, because in the following seasons, Optimus Prime comes back. So, what up with that? It's funny. They're killing off all these characters, especially Optimus, like Optimus, Ratchet, Starscream. But they said, you gotta keep Bumblebee. We were all scared. Like, are you going to kill Bumblebee right now? Nope, apparently not. Not until we get Rise of the Beast are we going to do it, or Transformers Prime. Number 3 is Transformers Prime Beast Hunters Predacons Rising. That is a mouthful of a title. Now, Transformers Prime was my series. I think that is peak Transformers. It's not going to get any better than that. But Predacons Rising, I think, was kind of, pointless. I mean, it's a nice epilogue, but the Transformers Prime series had a great finale where Bumblebee pretty much comes back to the dead, gets his voice box repaired. So, it's kind of nice seeing these characters on Cybertron and kind of seeing Megatron become Galvatron, but not really. By the way, we're killing off Optimus again. And guess what? We're going to bring him back for the next series. And not just the next series, a follow-up series, Robots in the Skies. Seriously? You should have just ended Transformers Prime, then reboot the franchise with a new series. But then again, that gave us Earthspark now, didn't it? Like I said, you can't beat Transformers Prime. That is peak. Number 2 on my list would be the bot, the myth, the legend, the Bumblebee. I remember when this movie was announced, everyone was so, let's say, curious. How are they going to do this? Is it going to connect to the Bayverse? Is it a prequel? Is it a remake? And the answer is yes. Yeah, I consider it a remake. It doesn't connect to the Bayverse at all. And I think Charlie is a more interesting character than Sam. Call me crazy. And the way these two interact, you can tell there is a bond. And seeing Bumblebee's voice box get ripped out, I wish it was Megatron or at least Starscream, but no, it's these other two bots that I don't really care about. If it's not Megatron, Starscream, Soundwave, or Shockwave, I don't care who they are. It has to be one of those 4. But watching this movie is kind of like watching Iron Giant or The Wild Robot that came out recently, which I was a big fan of. This human character interacting with a giant robot in the most sweetest of ways. I think that was very charming. There is one movie that surpasses the Bumblebee, and at number 1, Transformers 1. Let's go! This is what Transformers fans have been wanting. An entire animated movie on Cybertron. And I have been specifically asking for an origin story. Because we always see Optimus and Megatron as enemies, and we hear about their past, but we don't actually see it. And there are some things I didn't like about this movie, where Optimus is more reckless and Megatron just wants to go by the rules, and then they switch where Optimus is more responsible, Megatron doesn't give a fuck. And I get what they were going for, but I kind of wish that they kind of just stayed with their personalities, where Prime is a rule follower that becomes more responsible, and Megatron is a troublemaker that gets even into more trouble. But that's just me. Personally, no matter what age Optimus Prime is, he would never give the middle finger. I don't care who you are. I will never see Optimus Prime, Orion Pax, or whatever he's going to be called. He would never give the middle finger. I'm just saying. So that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But that's my only real complaint. Everything else was pretty solid. Bumblebee's a chatterbox, which makes it very funny what happens to him later. Oh god. Alita 1 is a total badass, which makes sense because she's played by Scarlett Johansson, the Black Widow, because you gotta get a badass to play a badass. I was kind of concerned with Chris Hemsworth taking over the role as Optimus, replacing Peter Cullen, but I thought he did a pretty good job as a young Optimus. And also, it's kind of weird not hearing Megatron being played by Frank Welker, but it's happened before, so I kind of gave it a shot, and I thought the actors did a pretty good job. But I am so excited for a sequel, and I hope it gets a sequel, because this deserves a sequel, because we're going to see the beginning of the War of Cybertron. Does that not excite you? Because I'm more excited to see how the Cybertronian War even started, way more than the Transformers G.I. Joe crossover. I mean, don't get me wrong, I want to see that too. But we're seeing the beginning of the Autobot and Decepticon war. I am so hyped. And I hope the G.I. Joe crossover is good. But I'm more interested in this. Please, go see this movie if you haven't, because I want that sequel. I want this trilogy. So that is my ranking for the Transformers. How would you rank the Transformers movies? Everyone's answer is so different. But anyway, am I going to do another movie ranking? Like maybe rank Joker and Harley Quinn movies? Doubt it. This took so long to do because I'm such a busy person. That, and I procrastinate a lot. But, I mean, if I do it, I'll do it. But no promises. There's nothing else to say in this video except for one thing. Sentinel Prime is a fucking prick!